Hey there! So, The Witcher 3 is on its way, and a lot of people, me included, are really hyped. However, I know the lore can be rather confusing because the game kind of throws everything it has at you and expects you to follow along, so people who are new to the series might feel left out. I kinda did. So, I made this video to help people who are interested in the series to catch up on the story without getting too caught up and confused by it. So, without further ado, let's do this. After saving King Foltest from being assassinated at the very end of the first game, Geralt of Rivia pretty much gets drafted and dragged along as his personal bodyguard. The king is currently on a crusade to take back his children from their mother and his former mistress Baroness Marie-Louisa Lavalette, who has abducted them and taken them to a temple at the top of a castle. On the day of the assault, Geralt is called to be at the king's side as they will lead the assault, but not before getting absolutely cockblocked by this guy. Anyways, the siege goes well and the king is able to reach his children, even though Geralt must once again save his ass as a goddamn dragon shows up and tries to murder him. However, the king's luck eventually runs out. When both the king and the witcher had lowered their guards, a monk sneaks up on the king, slits his throat and reveals himself as the most steroid-pumped witcher in history before making a dramatic escape and framing Geralt as the murderer. And here I thought Altair was the most badass assassin. While locked in the dungeons, Geralt is visited by Special Forces Commander Vernon Roach. He convinces Roach that he is innocent and that the real Kingslayer is on the loose, aided by the Scoia'tael, which are these non-human guerrilla fighters. Roach gives Geralt the keys to his chains on the condition that they track him down. Geralt escapes the dungeons and joins Vernon and his unit along with Triss Merigold, his lover whom you probably remember for her personalities. They go on a hunt for the Kingslayer, with their trail leading them to Flotsam, a harbour town squished between the three provinces of Temeria, Kedwen and Aedirn. That's it. And so the prologue ends and the first act begins. Having almost reached their destination, the trio decides to head to the town in advance through the shores. On their way they face Jovet, commander of the Scoia'tael and a terrorist in the eyes of the humans. He and Roach start bitching at each other, so things kinda escalate, and Jovet's men attack the trio, forcing them to fight their way to the town. They're able to get there in one piece, but have little time to rest as a public execution is about to take place, with Geralt's friends being the ones with the noose around their necks. In a demonstration of aggressive diplomacy, Geralt kicks the shit out of the executioner before he could kill his friends, and convinces the town's commandant Lorido to let them go. Although two elves die, but meh, who cares about elves, am I right? Anyways, surprise surprise, Lorido doesn't really like it when people beat the guards and save convicted criminals, so he wants to have a word with the Witcher in his residence the following night. Geralt and Roach gets there on the agreed time, but Lorido makes them wait downstairs because of some important meeting. So, while the duo discusses what to do next, they're approached by a merchant who tells them about the Kairan, a giant squid-like monster which terrorizes the waters, stopping all traffic and has a huge bounty on its head. A sorceress called Sheila the Tancerwheel has accepted the contract, but hasn't made any progress whatsoever, so the people have turned to Geralt for help. It also happens to be that Lorido has a component for a trap made specifically to kill this Kairan, which he has hidden in his rear compound. Seriously, that's what he said. This prompts Geralt to sneak into the compound and get the piece of the trap, as well as eavesdrop on Lorido in his residence. There he sees Lorido having a heated debate with Sheila about some kind of proposal. Once he's back and let in, Lorido makes the Witcher an offer. Kill the Kairan and his friends will be pardoned of their crimes, which brings him to his next point. Geralt's friend Zoltan, that's the short guy, has contacted Jovet. Once he's been pardoned, he'll be able to take Geralt to him. This could also lead him to the Kingslayer, who is hiding in the forest with the Scoia'tael. With a clear goal, Geralt sets off the monster hunting, though he's gotta split the share of the contract with Sheila. He's indirectly aided by Cedric, an old elvish merchant who lives among the humans, helping them with his knowledge of the forest. Cedric provides Geralt with the diagram of the Kairan trap, as well as Mongoose? I don't know. A potion that will protect him from the Kairan's poison. Sheila pulls out the Kairan from its waters and apparently feels like she's done enough for one day, letting Geralt fight his big-ass anti-nightmare while contemplating his life choices. But things go well and he kills the Kairan. He heads back to the town and gets his reward. With all that monster hunting out of his way, he can finally continue on chasing after the Kingslayer. Their first lead is Ciaran, goddamn fantasy names, a member of Jovet's unit who'd been found half dead and taken prisoner, so he and Triss go to have a chat with him. He tells them that the Kingslayer called Letho had offered him and his unit to join him and betray Jovet. When he refused, Letho killed him because he's got arms bigger than my thighs, but the elf was lucky to survive. Or not, he did get captured and tortured. Sometimes life just gives you lemons. Anyways, this prompts Geralt to get a flashback because logic. Triss notices this and tells him she can speed up his memory if she gets a Rose of Remembrance. They get to the place where the roses grows, and plot happens. I love this game. After that, you and Sultan venture out to the woods to meet Jovet. You're led into an ambush so obvious even Geralt thinks the plan is stupid, but fuck it, he just killed Cthulhu. And got laid. So bring it. They end up fighting this giant insect slash flower slash blueberry thing. And afterwards, he talks to Jovet and tells him about Letho's betrayal. Jovet, who knows where Letho is, comes up with a plan. Geralt will bring Jovet to Letho and appear like he wants to negotiate. Once Letho lowers his guard, Geralt, Jovet and his men will capture him. The plan goes relatively well until Roach and his unit appears and start duking it out with the Scoia'tael, at which point Geralt can choose to give Jovet his sword and let him fight, or knock him out and let Roach and his men take care of business. And by the way, of all the choices in this game, choosing between going with Roach or Jovet is probably the biggest one, and you can start making this choice here. So now you know. Anyways, you end up in a fight with Letho, and he kinda goes to shit. But apparently you did save his life at one point, so he repays that by not killing you, which I guess is nice. Although it does say he'll kidnap Triss and force her to teleport him to Eden, so he's still a dick. Geralt rushes back to the town, but Leto had already teleported away with Triss. He learned from the hookers next door that Triss and Cedric had gone to Sheila's room and Cedric had killed their guard. They then heard some racketing and saw Cedric limp out of the building. Geralt follows his blood trail and finds him dying in the forest, where he tells him the rest of the story. Triss used Sheila's megascope, which is kinda like Skype, and called either this creepy old dude or this hot chick depending on who you helped earlier. Letho then entered, took out Cedric and forced Triss to teleport them both to Edirn. And after telling Geralt the story, he dies from his wounds. Hey, I didn't know Disney made this game. In order to leave the town, you'll need help from either Roach or Jovet. If you go with Roach, you'll first have to help him take care of Lorido, who has a deal with Kedwen, one of the bordering provinces. So if shit was to go down, he'd support Kedwen. Really little shitface. Conveniently, the spy who came to Lorido still lives in his residence, and Roach wants to interrogate him. So they form a plan. To get inside his residence, Vess, a member of Roach's unit, will get herself invited, open a window, and Geralt will sneak in and kill Lorido, which is kinda what happens, without the window and without the sneaking. Though you do kill a lot of his guards as well. And his mom. Fuck it, mission accomplished. After that, you set sail for Edirn. If you go with Jovet, you'll take the prison barge where Ciaran was, freeing the captured Scoia'taels in the process. Geralt and Jovet will once again fake his capture, this time so Geralt can bring him to the boat. Once there, you'll take out the guard and prepare to sail off. However, Lorido shows up and tries to discourage you from leaving by threatening to burn 3 she-elves alive. Dick. You can choose to save the elves, or give chase and kill Lorido. Either way, you'll head back to the boat and set sail for Edirn. And that's the first act of The Witcher 2. I hope you enjoyed it. I'm gonna go now, but thank you so much for watching and sticking around. I'll see you next time.
Bomb has been planted.